Since November last year, I've been working on a homepage, and it's finally at a state now where I feel like it's ready to go public and I can do the proper announcement and show you guys what I've made. The D2E merch store is open. There are t-shirts, sweaters, hoodies, mugs and tote bags with many cool designs. Head down to the link in the video description and get yourself your merchandise today. Hello ladies and gentlemen, and welcome back to Elite Dangerous with Down-to-Earth Astronomy. Oh, well, not actually Elite Dangerous, but the Commander's Toolbox. This is the main page that you'll be landing on when you go to the commanderstoolbox.com. There, of course, will be a link in the description. The idea with the site is it's going to contain useful information, but mainly tools and other online things you can use to help you in Elite Dangerous. I'm going to run through all the tools today, and we're just going to basically take a tour around the site so you can see what there is. Front page, of course, simple search bar so you can search up if you're looking for something specific. Icons here leading to the different sections that we're going to run through in a second. And if you scroll down, there's a very simple news feed. This is basically just taking all tweets from @Elite Dangerous and @Frontier Development. I found that to be the easiest way just to implement the news feed. So if you just want to quickly brush up at what's happening, at least on the official side of Elite or in Frontier, then you can just scroll down the news feed here and you can get yourself updated on what's going on. The site started out as originally I wanted to do a lot of guides here, but later I kind of swapped things around. But there are different guides here, as you can see here. If you go to guides, there's some engineering unlocking, some exploration guides. We're going to go through some of these in a second. Not all of them are written by me. You can see, for instance, this one is written by Commander Fox. The Fox step-by-step to unlocking engineers quickly, which some of you guys may know. It's basically a step-by-step guide how you unlock engineers the fastest. I've just taken that, got of course with his permission, and uploaded it over here. If we take something like the Guardian module guide, for instance, in here, you have, let's say you're looking for the frameshift drive. Well, there you go. Now you have the list of what commodities you need there. I've collapsed it so you can just choose which modules to kind of remove excess information. The whole point of the design here is to try and give you the information you need as quickly as possible. So rather than having all the different modules listed here at once, here are all the plasma accelerators. It would be a long list you have to scroll through. You just select the modules from this list and it shows you exactly what you need. Similar here, you will notice that there are like highlighted text around the site. Basically, if you just read the highlighted text, you will get a very brief idea about what's going on in the different sections. So if you're looking for something very specific, you can just read through the highlighted text and it will give you a good idea of where we are on the guide. And if you then want to dive into more details with it, well, then you can read that whole section. But it's all about getting you the information you need as quickly as possible without having to sit and read through a wall of text as we have here. Also with the ancient data terminals, similar to the thing here, where they also drop down, say you want module blueprints. Boom, now you have a list of all the sites where the module blueprints are available and what kind of key you need to unlock the data terminal at the end. And then there's also lists of like where can you find these Guardian beacon locations, and all that stuff is listed here, of course. Some of the guides will also have like quick guides at the beginning. So if again you just want a very brief overview of what's going on, you can start by reading the quick guide. Again, it really depends on where you are in the game. If you are like an experienced player, you can probably make do just reading the quick guides. If you're a newer player, well, you can dive into more details with how the different mission works and all that stuff. So pretty straightforward. And again, there are plenty of other guides. There's also like a guide here on shield mechanics that goes into a lot more details with explaining how shield boosters and shield generators work. It shows all the math behind how the different hit points is calculated. It shows even some examples here. In this case, it's with a Federal Corvette. Then we go into shield boosters, talk about that, Guardian shield reinforcement packs, how do they affect and how are they stacked up. Again, everything is with examples. Shield resistance, how is that calculated, and shield generation, how that works. All of this is explained in here in a lot of detail. So if you want to really do a deep dive into shields, well, obviously there's a guide for that. As you can see, there are many other guides. But let's move over to the ship build section. Here, of course, I've listed some of my own builds. I'm open to expand it with more other people's builds as well in the future. But people always ask, is there one place where they can go and see all my different ship builds? Now there is. You can go in here and they're all listed, and the whole like long list of mining builds I've done through the time. So that is listed there. And again, more to come later on. The next little tool here is a very simple material finder. If you've ever seen the spreadsheet that I've been having out for like years now, you can see there's quite a few people using it. Right now there are 38 people online using it. It's basically just a list of all the engineering materials, their type, their subtype, their grade, where to find it, and when available, there are video guides. it's essentially that same spreadsheet, just made a little bit easier to use, I think. So for instance, if I wanted chemical manipulators, I could search for manipulators. There we go. Chemical manipulators is a manufactured material. It's in the chemical subgroup. It's grade 4. I can get a DAV soap. I could click there. And there's a video guide on how to run DAV soap. But of course, you could do many other types of filtering. Let's say I want to have all grade 5 manufactured materials. There you go. Or maybe you're a little uncertain about, what about chemical manipulators? How could I cross-trade those? What are the grade 5 version of it? Now, I know it's pharmaceutical isolators, but I could go in here, I could say, oh, I know that's chemical. What's the grade 5 version? There we go. It's pharmaceutical isolators. And where do I get those? I get those from high grades. So again, you can do all your filters on your own, and you can do that in the spreadsheet, but it's a little bit more difficult when you have to do a lot of other things first because you don't have edit rights to it. But the fact you can search here and do these drop-down filters, I think makes it a lot more easy and a lot quicker to find what you need. And you don't have to sit and scroll down a long list. You can basically just type in the name of the material you're looking for, and you're good to go. The next tool is the shield tester. This is something I originally created in a PowerShell version, and it was then later, I need to say a huge thank you to Thomas Holst. He ported this over to a Rust version that not only did it make it a lot quicker, but it also made it a lot more online version. He's currently hosting this, and I've then just embedded it on the site here. But what it is it allows you to test what is the optimal shield engineering for your shield generator and the shield boosters depending on various scenarios. So I could say, oh, what if this is the incoming damage, so attacker damage. So let's say I have a little bit of incoming explosive and some kinetic and some thermal and maybe some little bit of absolute. Effectiveness here is like how much time on target do the enemy have. Let's keep that at also 50. What ship are we flying? I feel like today we're going to be flying let's say a federal assault ship just today. What size is my shield generator? Can be 4 or 5. I think it's the only one that works on that ship at the moment. How many shield boosters do I fit it? Well, there are 4 utility slots, so maximum of 4, of course. My shield boosters are A-rated. Maybe I have a shield cell bank, so I can have how much the total hit points in my shield cell banks are. I can say maybe that's like that. And maybe I have some hit point from Guardian Shield reinforcement packs. Just put that there. I will allow prismatic shields, so I have access to those. So I'll click that and click calculate. And then it just shows here that in this case, it has tested almost 360,000 different combinations of engineering shield boosters and shield generators. And it did that in 8.6 milliseconds. Here we can see all the test setup that we just typed in. And the results down here. What it does is it optimizes survival time. So under these damage conditions we set at the beginning, it will then show you the build that has the longest survival time. We can see here how many hit points you drain a second. And in this case, it recommends a prismatic thermal resistant force block with 4 resistance augmented, 2 thermal block, 2 force blocks. Try to reduce the time on target. There we go. So you can see now the enemy effectiveness, their time on target is really low, meaning we have a lot of time to regenerate our shield. So now it's then recommending a bi-weave thermal resistant force block, and again a lot of resistance augmented with 2 thermal block, 2 force block. You can also see additional information here, like total hit points, shield regeneration rate, and your resistances with this current build. So a very easy way to try and play around with different damage numbers and see what kind of shield loadout is most optimal in that given situation. Next up, we have the multi-waypoint route plotter, whatever. Basically what this allows you to do is to plot a route between multiple waypoints, and then it will run a traveling salesman algorithm to optimize the routes so you have the shortest possible route. So let's say that I want to go and visit a few locations. Maybe let's say I'm in Shirata Deshra right now, Dav's Hope, and collect some materials. I want to go to one of the crashed anacondas, and I want to go to maybe Jameson's Cobra. Let's say I want to visit a few other engineers. Maybe I want to visit Farseer, and where do we have Palin? I want to visit Palin as well. Okay, so let's say that I'm starting in, I can force it to say that Shirata Deshra must be my start system. I can also force an end system. You can see the way I've added these in just random order now. I have 1260 light years of jumping between all these systems. But if I click here on optimize route, boom, it rearranges the systems. And I'm now down to 550 light years of jumping just because I optimized the order of which I go to these systems. Of course, I can add Shirata Desra as my end system as well. Now the route will of course be longer because instead of just going from A and then doing route out to B, it's now trying to do a circle route to get me all the way back to my start location. And now we're then up to 811. It added Shirata Desra here as my end system. So we now have a start, and this is then the systems we have to go to. I can of course click here on copy, and that puts it in the system's clip holder. So I can just basically copy these and then copy paste them into the game. Of course, that only works if you're playing on a computer. If you're playing on console, you will have to type these systems in manually. But yeah, they're there, and it's a pretty neat little tool. It works, I think, if you go up, I have a lot of systems in here. We can try to add a few more. Okay, so I added a ton of systems, and if I optimize this route now, you can see you will get a warning saying there's a large number of systems. So now it's basically switching over because the first algorithm I used for really low number of systems, very slow, but it gives you the best result every time. However, when you're using a large number of systems, this would take a large number of system resources and take a lot of time. So instead what it does is it switches over to a faster but less accurate method, meaning you will get your answer quickly, but it might not be the best answer. You can see if I sit here and click optimize, it will actually jump between different solutions and won't even get back to the good one. So it's not always getting you the best result. It will give you one that's pretty good, but it won't give you the best if you're using a large number of systems, simply because of the amount of system resources that we require. But those are the tools that are there right now. I do have a section here for other tools where I've just listed other tools that I find really useful, something like EDDB, Inara, Coriolis, the Neutron Route Plotter, ED-Engineer, the Market Connector, and Voice Attack. Again, this list can be expanded, and I'm also planning to expand with more tools. I have a few ideas that I want to add later on. But again, if you have had a good idea for a tool that you think could be useful, then do let me know. You can find more information about how to get in touch with me over here on the About site. Here was my email is listed. It's also in the description of the video, of course. But that's pretty much it. I would love your feedback. I would love what you would like to see added. If you spot something, maybe there's some typos here and there that I haven't spotted yet, then please do let me know. Thanks a lot for watching, guys. Hope you enjoyed this video. If you did, give a like, subscribe, and until next time, I will see you guys in space.